Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings coming at you on behalf of epicconversions.com. Today, we're going to talk about exclusivity and inclusivity as it relates to your online business. I'm just finishing up a walk here. Quick weather report. It's not bad out here. It's about 22 degrees. Feels like about 80 degrees compared to the last couple days, but it's not bad. If anything I'm going to say today resonates with you at all, be sure to get over to epicconversions.com. Sign up for my free newsletter. I feel like I put my best content out. My best free content gets put out by email. So get over and sign up, epicconversions.com. Okay, let me start this off with a quick little story. The other day, my son, he showed me a test. He got a question wrong. And school question, school test, personal finance. And question was like, which one of these financial institutions would actually help you better your finances, right? And now that I think about it, this is kind of a weird question too. But anyways, it's a little open-ended, to be honest. So there's three answers where clearly I knew their mission was not to educate you. And then one of the answers was a company that I wasn't familiar with. And I said, I've never heard of that company, son. And that happened to be the right answer, by the way. But, so, of course, I had to do some research, looked it up. This is the Financial Bar, by the way. The Financial Bar. That happened to be the right answer for the question, too, by the way. But when I looked them up, I find that they help women and couples with their finances. I can't make this stuff up. They educate women and couples with their finances. That's unbelievable. So very, very clearly, you can see there is a degree of exclusivity there. They're sending a clear message. If you're a man, we don't want to help you. We're not here to help you. Right? Very exclusive. But yet, stuff like this filters into my son's education. It's unbelievable. So the truth is, honestly, one of the answers was Goldman Sachs. And the truth is, he probably could have challenged that question on the basis that, he's a young man. And, how could the Financial Bar help him with his financial education when they only help women and couples? He could have made that argument. Very exclusive. I guarantee you, when I looked at their website, this is one of those companies probably that's just screaming from the rooftops about inclusivity and, DEI and all this good stuff, just screaming from the rooftops, and there it is right there on their website. Very, very exclusive themselves. Just essentially a bunch of hypocrites, really. But when you circle back around and put it in the scope of business, not in like social justice or whatever you want to call it, you'll find that, hey, it's good to be exclusive. Good to be exclusive. It eliminates your competition. That's what we were talking about yesterday, competition. Exclusivity. It's another way to eliminate competition. the thing about it is, a lot of the people you see out there in public screaming about diversity and inclusivity, they're some of the biggest hypocrites known to man. They are literally like the epitome of exclusive most of the time. They don't want to hear anything you have to say if it is counter-aligned with their views and opinions. It's funny, really. It's like so stupid. It's funny. I was joking around the other day with someone the other day that the reason that the difference between men and women is that, like, if you put a bunch of men in a room with two doors and you say this door here is only for men, this door here you can take, this one's for women, then the men are gonna be like, okay, cool, I'll take the door for men. You put a bunch of women in a room with two doors and you say this one here is only for men, this one here is for women, they're going to have a fit. They're absolutely going to, like, not rest until they can get through, they can find a way, some loophole, some dumb, like, explanation why they need to be able to get through that door just for men. Now look, in years past it wasn't like that. You can go back, 100 years and it wasn't like that. But today, and look, let me contextualize this. This isn't all women. Some women are. It's you know what it is? It's a section of women, a very vocal minority of women who are out there saying our business only helps women and couples. The same woman who says, I want to be able to join the Boy Scouts. I want my little girl to be able to join the Boy Scouts. So now you got the Boy Scouts. Now they've bent the knee to these, like, inclusivity rangers, if you want to call them that. They've bent the knee, and now it's the Scouts from the BSA, the Scouts from Boy Scouts of America, right? So they've allowed girls to join the Boy Scouts. Now, is it the same for girls? I don't think so. I don't think boys can join the Girl Scouts. But you know what? I don't think any boys want to join the Girl Scouts, for the most part. It takes me back to that analogy I just gave you about, put a group of women in a room, put a group of men in a room, tell them these doors are for this. The men are going to be like, all right, fine, whatever. It's crazy. But anyways, the reason I bring it up, is very simply because, not because I want to complain, not because I want to complain about, wokeism or whatever, even though I find it ridiculous and funny, stupid. But the reason I bring it up is because I want you to know that this whole, like, idea of inclusivity, I mean, in business, in life, it's an illusion. In business, it's not going to do anything but hurt you. In business, I mean, you have to have a degree of exclusivity if you want to get anywhere. You can make yourself too accessible. Too accessible. You know what happens when you make yourself too accessible? You make less money. That's what happens. Seriously. Don't believe me? Try to be everything to everyone. Try to be everything to everyone. Try to be everyone's friend. See how far you get. You can report back to me. No, it's just the truth. Seriously. You gotta be exclusive. I cater to this particular group of people And that's who I cater to. And if you don't like it, then don't be here. And from my experience, there's a group of girls who absolutely hate that. Now, the same group of girls is completely okay having a girls' club. But they're not okay with men having a men's club. You feel excluded. Guess what? You are excluded. Are you a man? No. Okay, well, you don't belong in the men's club then. Get out of here. In life, it's funny. People try to maintain this, like, fiction of fairness and inclusivity. In business, it's just stupid when you see it all around you, even from people who are screaming diversity and inclusivity. You see them running their own businesses exclusively. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone screaming diversity, inclusion, equality, and in the next sentence saying something discriminatory against white men. That's basically who they hate. They hate white men. And then kind of they hate white women, but mostly they hate white men. It's stupid. It's essentially racism is what it is. It's essentially discrimination, racism. We're talking about people with hate in their heart who need an enemy. They need an enemy. And it's funny that they try to cover it up with this idea of DEI. I don't know. In life, I think it's stupid. I think everybody should get included. I think everybody should be able to accept everybody and live and let live. That's what I say. Not everyone's going to have the same religion as you, all right? Not everyone's going to have the same belief system as you. I say live and let live. I don't need everybody to align with my viewpoints or off with their heads or something. That's not how I feel. To be honest, it's a little narcissistic to think that everyone's gonna believe everything you believe or agree with everything you agree with, and anyone who doesn't is like your enemy or something. That's ridiculous. But in business, what I found is that you get far further along on the road to success just by being exclusive and just saying, hey, this is who I cater to. I was listening to Vince said I'll tell a story not long ago on his podcast, and he was talking about some girl who was telling him that he feels like he doesn't even want her on his email list. He doesn't even think she should join his email players club because he doesn't even act like he wants any girls on his list like it's some kind of boys club. And it was funny because he said, yeah, you're right. It is. It really is kind of a boys club, So it's funny because, and then he said she ended up becoming an email player. She ended up joining his monthly newsletter club. And I had to laugh when I heard that story because that's exactly what I'm talking about. The whole put the girls in a room, put the boys in a room analogy. It's almost like him telling her that it was a boys club made her want in there even more. So she thought he was going to say, no, it's for everybody. He didn't say that. He said, yeah, it is. It's a boys club. It's funny, if you tried to use that on guys, if a guy said to a girl and said, hey, listen, man, I get the feeling like you don't even want me on your newsletter. It feels like it's kind of a girls club. And if she responded with, yeah, it kind of is a girls club, you know what that guy would do? He'd be like, all right, I'm out. That's what I would do. I mean, I wouldn't join. Like I said, there's a section of females, not all the females, but there's a section of them that are just they cannot stand it. Now they can do it, but they can't stand it when it's done to them. when it comes to the exclusivity thing. So, and it's funny because that group of females and that small group of people, it's almost like they're like wreaking chaos on the world right now. It's like everybody's miserable trying to cater to this group of people right now. It's nuts. I just got to sit back and laugh. I mean, I definitely feel like it's a trend, like bell bottoms, like, and it will pass because it's not the natural order of humanity. It's just not the natural order of humanity. And again, it's not real. It's not real inclusivity. It's not. This group of lunatics right now. It's not true. Inclusivity. That they are very. If you pay attention to what they're doing, they are still exclusive. They have a couple of groups of people who they hate, and they are definitely very exclusive to that group of people. One of them is white men. So it's not really inclusive. It's they have people they hate. And I think it's just kind of one of those things where, in my opinion, it's funny to watch it. It's kind of sad because I don't want to see the world in chaos. And I think that's truly what it is. I think the world's kind of in chaos right now as far as like just everybody being miserable because they're being like they're being kind of like dictated around by this small group of like lunatics. But that's for me, like I've probably stopped watching like I think like I don't know 75% of anything that's coming out today. Television, movies, stuff like that. Sometimes even new books. I've stopped watching it because it's just, ridiculous. But yeah, I just thought I'd talk about that a little bit this morning. In your business, you got to have exclusivity in some way, shape, or form. That example I gave you, the financial bar. I mean, like I think it's funny, but it makes sense that they're catering to women and couples. I think it's very funny. The reason I think it's funny is because again, I can just tell by looking at them. I haven't done tons of research on what they do outside of their website, but I can just tell they're probably screaming from the rooftops, diversity, equality, inclusion, and then they're being very exclusive in their business. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of like a direct example. But I'm not mad at people for being exclusive. I think that like you get farther in business when you're exclusive. So at the same time, I don't think it's good to discriminate against people just because of the color of their skin or just because of what they got between their legs. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think that's a good way to discriminate, personally. I don't think that's a good way to be exclusive. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. I've never told anyone I didn't want them on my list because they were a female or like, I didn't want to sell somebody something because they happen to be, a different color than me or something. That's not been something that I have been interested in being exclusive in that way. But I think it's funny to see all these businesses that trumpet their diversity, equality, and inclusivity, and then like the thing that they, the way they narrow it down is by like discriminating against men. I think that's pretty kind of that's a weird way to like be exclusive in my opinion, but like whatever. It's totally fine. I mean, again, I just think it's funny. It doesn't really matter to me. I mean, if you say your business is for couples and women, then okay, then I'm not going to do any business with you. But to me, I feel like that's, like I said, kind of hypocritical when you're screaming diversity and equality and inclusivity, and that's one of the ways you choose to, that's one of the ways that you choose to be, exclusive. So I don't know, just some of the just some of the things I was thinking about today. The other thing I was thinking about was this book I was reading about Inside Delta Force. It's like an autobiography from Eric Haney, the guy who was kind of one of the founding members of Delta Force. It's a really cool book. I'll have to talk about it another time, but this one's getting too long. Let me wrap this up today. Anyways, that's all I got, man. Just kind of talking about exclusivity and inclusivity and all that good stuff. Hope you guys are doing well out there, man. Hope you have an amazing day. It's Thursday. The week's coming to an end. We're rolling to an end here this Thursday, and excited for the weekend. I hope you are too. And if any of this content has resonated with you today, be sure to get over to epicconversions.com. Check out my email list, my free email list. I put out emails 3 to 6 times a week. And, I feel like I put out my best free content by email. So be sure to go over there and check that out. And that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, everybody.